English is a weird language. It sets itself apart from the other languages of the world in many ways. It's just as complicated as it is simple compared to other languages. Some might think English is really easy and simple to learn, but others might take English to be the single most confusing language to ever exist. As an example, take a look at this sentence. Buffalo, buffalo, buffalo. Buffalo, buffalo, buffalo. Buffalo, buffalo. This, indeed, is a real and grammatically correct sentence, which just stands as a testament to the truly complicated and puzzling side of the English language. Welcome to the Oddities of English. First, we have these words. You might notice that these words end with the same letters O, U, G, and H. But what's different about these words is that they don't rhyme. First, cough, and then though, and then rough, and then through. They have completely different sounds. Meanwhile, there's some words that have no business rhyming with each other at all, like pony, which rhymes with baloney. And yes, it's spelled that way. Another one is herd, which doesn't rhyme with beard, but rhymes with bird. Past, which rhymes with contrast, because for some reason, the D in past is supposed to be pronounced as a T, and not what it's supposed to be. English has a whole bunch of silent letters that just seem utterly pointless. There's just way too many words in this language that have unnecessary letters in them. Anyway, let's get on with it. First, we have the word muscle. This, unlike some of the other words, is pretty straightforward when it comes to useless letters. Here, the C is silent. Next, let's look at receipt. I think you can tell what I'm talking about. There's absolutely no reason for the P to be there. It's just one of the many useless silent letters that plague English words. Speaking of the silent letter plague, yes, that's what I'm calling it now, no word gets plagued with silent letters more than this word, rendezvous. I mean, this word's basically dying from the plague at this point, probably because it's a French word. Anyways, I'm pretty sure some of you didn't even know how to pronounce it. It's just all over the place. On a quick side note, I want to talk about this word right here, salmon. I know some people are going to be complaining about my pronunciation, but it just shouldn't be pronounced salmon. Where's the L? Why have it there if you're just not going to say it? To be honest, it kind of sounds dumb without the L. It's just the logical thing to say. You don't say salmonella, do you? You say salmonella. Now, there are some words that have multiple different pronunciations, even if they are just the same word. Two prominent examples of these are address and address, and record and record. Both ways of saying each word have different meanings. There are tons of these words that require you to speak in a specific tone depending on what you're trying to say. You won't hear someone saying, "I'm recording a YouTube video," right? Okay, let's take a look at some rules in English that change how you speak and write. The first rule we have is one I'm sure many of you have heard of. It's I before E, except after C. The problem with this, though, is that it doesn't even apply to almost half the words that have an I and E in it. There's just no point. You would be better off learning how to spell correctly for once in your life. This next rule is kind of obscure, but I'm sure that many of you use it almost every day. You just don't notice it. So the rule has to do with adjectives, which are words you use to describe other things. When you try to describe a word with multiple adjectives, there's always a certain order that you're supposed to take. Let's say you're trying to describe a butterfly with the words purple, little, and adorable. To many new English learners, it might seem as if the order doesn't matter, it's gonna have the same meaning anyways, right? Well, no. The order actually does matter. The adjective order rule states that when describing a noun with multiple adjectives, the order is as follows: opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, purpose, and finally, the noun. By this rule, our butterfly example would be adorable little purple butterfly. Say anything else to an English speaker, and they'll give you a weird look and avoid you for the next few days. The final unusual thing we have today is a type of word in English. It's called a contronym. A contronym is a word that has two opposite meanings. It's kind of like an oxymoron, but it's only one word instead of a phrase. One example is the word weather. One definition of weather is to chip away at something, such as weathering away a slab of rock. However, another definition of weather is to withstand something, such as weathering the storm. Another example would be the word overlook. You can overlook a group of people, which means to look after them. Or you can overlook a small detail, which means to neglect something. As you can see, you really have to make sure you're using the right meaning of the right word in the right sentence to give no one the opportunity to question what you say. It's kind of like Twitter, actually. English has way too many of these anomalies to name, so I only listed the ones that I felt were important to know. There are many more things to look out for when speaking or writing English, so I encourage you to do some research and learn about the even weirder side of English, regardless of whether you want to learn English or avoid getting cancelled on Twitter. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you later.